Please make a statement of the presiding officer.
In compliance with the Open Public Meetings Act, I hereby state that adequate notice of this regular meeting has been provided to the public by a written notice dated February 9th, 2021. The meeting notice has been emailed to all staff members, communicated to at least one of the board's designated newspapers, and filed with the Borough Clerk of Palisades Park.
Thank you. Next item is the report of a superintendent.
Thank you, Mr. President. This evening, as we've done many years, in the October Board of Ed meeting, it is in compliance with the New Jersey Department of Ed that we report our annual test scores within the first 60 days of school. Clearly, any standardized assessments that were waived would not be reported, but I do have before me tonight SATs averages for our school district, AP averages, and we do assess our students in kindergarten through 12th grade in an access assessment, which is a WIDA for English language learners. For our SATs, on an 800 scale for reading and writing, the average score at the Palisades Park Junior Senior High School was 573. The average math score out of, again, 800 was 593. For a total average of 1166 out of 1,600 possible points. Our AP scores this past year, clearly during the remote virtual option of a year, we had 115 students take an AP exam. We had an average score of 2.9 on that assessment. We had some great scores in the field of AP Biology. 71% of students scored 3 or better. In AP Calculus, 73% of students had a 3 or better. AP Spanish, 90% of our students assessed had a 3 or better. Our AP US History had an 85% success rate of 3 or better. And our English Language and Composition had an 82% score of 3 or better. I say 3 or better, the AP assessment is graded on a 1 through 5 scale. Most colleges require a 3 or better for college credit. So the assessments proved to be somewhat successful for many of our students, and I'm very grateful in announcing that. As for our WIDA, our access assessment for English language learners, we had a total of 461 students district-wide from kindergarten through 12th grade be assessed this past year. 62% of those children scored a 4 or better. Different from the AP, the WIDA test is scaled 1 through 6. 4 or greater shows proficiency. So again, we had a 4 or greater in 62 of 461 assessments. Our kindergarten grade level showed to have the best proficiency rate of 40%, scoring 4 or better. So again, those are some statistics that we must publicly announce, and this information will be on our website after presentation this evening. Second, I am very pleased to announce this evening that over the weekend, we received acknowledgement of one of our high school students by the name of Soo-Jung Kim. She was the #1 ranked flute player in the state of New Jersey and the top 3 in the country. Soo-Jung will be representing not only her family, but the Palisades Park community at the National Chorus event. We are extremely proud of this acknowledgement. I tried to invite her here tonight, but as we can tell, she's that good because she's at practice. So unfortunately, Soo-Jung could not be with us, but I did tell her that I would mention this publicly. Finally, on my end, before I do have a motion in new business that I would like the board to consider, and that is a joint agreement between the borough and the Board of Education for a special law enforcement official. But before we do that in new business, what I do want to publicly state tonight, earlier today I received correspondence from our architects. Not too much good came from the pandemic that we are clearly still in. But we did receive a substantial amount of funds by way of grants. We, with our architects, have identified our HVAC for multiple reasons to be our #1 priority after safety and security of children. HVAC in our district was assessed to be somewhere in the neighborhood on a low end of about $6 million, on a high end of about $8 million. I can report to you today that by way of the grants we received as a district, we are at approximately $8.2 million. Again, this is all at the preliminary stages of reporting this information publicly. We are working with our architects. We clearly have to identify the most important areas to move forward, first and foremost. But as we all know, air quality is one of our top priorities nowadays. So I thank you for your attention. More information to follow on these topics. Thank you.
Thank you. Next item is a report to the board president. The hearing our SAT score, that was great. National average of 2020, the SAT average in nation was 1,060, and our average was 1,166. It's like 100 points more than national average. So that was great. A good job to all the students who took the test for the SAT, and thank you to the teachers who lead them to the very good and successful scores. That's it for my report, and report of a board attorney, please.
Thank you, Mr. President. Just two items. Item number one is we finally have finalized the Teachers Association contract for year 2019 and 2022. The board previously approved the memorandum of agreement between the board and the Teachers Association, and it ratified the same. We were waiting on contractual language by review from the New Jersey Division of Pensions and Benefits, and that was deemed acceptable just recently. So now today, during old business, the teacher's contract will be presented for approval. Furthermore, from negotiations committee, it is my understanding that the superintendent's memorandum of understanding is now going to be presented for vote under new business. And that's all I have, Mr. President.
Okay, thank you. Next item is minute approval.
I move that we approve,
No.
the first one, 8/26/21.
Yeah, August 26, 21 special meeting, and September 16, 21 regular
Do all
meeting.
three together?
No,
There's only,
separate.
can we do them separate?
Yeah.
I recommend we approve the first one.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Jason Kidd.
Yes.
John Madison.
Yes.
Aniesca Garcia.
Yes.
Stephanie Jane. Yes. Rebecca Lee.
Yes.
Kevin Lim.
Yes.
Thomas Matarazzo.
Yes.
Yoon Min. Yes. Timothy Yang.
Yes.
Thank you. Anybody like to make a motion for the passing the
Make a
minute
motion,
approval for
we
regular
accept
meeting?
the regular meeting on November 9/16/21.
I'll second
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Jason Kim.
Yes, ma'am.
John Madison.
Yes.
Aniesca Garcia.
Yes.
Stephanie Jane. Yes. Rebecca Lee. Yes. Kevin Lim.
Yes.
Thomas Matarazzo.
Yes.
Yoon Min. Yes. Timothy Yang.
Yes.
So it has been approved. Next item is committee reports. Finance, please.
Well, this morning we met with the finance committee, Dr. Cirillo, we went over the 18 resolution, and we all agreed on them, so I move on the consent agenda on all 18 resolutions.
Okay, any discussion about this consent agenda?
Second.
I'll second.
Seconded? Okay, thank you. Any discussion about the consent agenda?
Yes, I ask every month, about our BA, and I'm concerned about the amount of money, especially after I saw our, literature that was sent out. I think exaggerating what we spend, only because I don't remember seeing that kind of figures when I ask every month, and I do ask every month. I don't know if you could clarify that?
Sure. The, the business administrator, you need a business administrator of record. That business administrator, Lola Gillis, who was a BA many years ago, to date, if memory serves me, she has, between January and today, $9,729. So that equates to it equates to a little over a day a month, I believe. I know for a fact Lola does not put in most of the hours she does put in.
So she works about a day a month?
Well, on paper.
Okay.
On paper.
Sure, oh yeah, she's always, I'm sure.
Yes.
Okay.
She doesn't work every day, correct, Debbie? She
No,
gets
she
paid
doesn't
per
work every day.
day.
She
Right.
will, she definitely looks at emails every day. We are on phone calls every day, and tomorrow we'll be meeting to work on the third ESSER grant, which is very important. And I know neither, our time will not be, submitted for that. We haven't gone a lot of time to get it done.
Well, thank you both for doing that.
It has to be done.
Yeah, thank you. So then those figures are not correct? The ones in the literature that I received?
Well, if actually the literature, I believe, would equate to, she would have to work 361.5 days in order to,
To
earn
make
that
that.
salary, yes. So no, it's like grossly, it's not
Thank you.
correct.
So her per diem rate is $6.50. She only gets that when she does come in and work.
Right.
All right, so.
Okay.
Any other discussion?
Yeah, we had a finance meeting today, and I just made it very clear that the current format of reporting is not very much informative. So that I strongly suggest that the reporting form should be improved. So I don't know whether we discuss it now, or I think at least I just made it very clear to Dr. Cirillo that also, this release that we need to improve the reporting format. Because I cannot see the detail of the, overall numbers.
Yeah.
So-
Well, we are focused on the agenda that is on the consent agenda.
Okay.
That you can talk about that later on the new
Okay.
business, or you can recommend on
Okay.
that time.
Yeah, I want to discuss it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any other discussion about the consent agenda only? None? Okay, then roll call please.
Jason Kim.
Yes.
John Mattison.
Yes.
Annie Esther Garcia. Yes. Stephanie Jang. Yes. Rebecca Lee. Yes. Kevin Lim.
Yes?
Thomas Matarazzo.
Yes.
Yoon Min. Yes. Timothy Yang.
Yes.
Thank you. So consent agenda passed. Now buildings and ground.
I have two resolutions that I would like to move off the consent agenda.
Anybody want a second?
I
on
second.
that? Any discussion on these items? No? Okay, then roll call please.
Jason Kim.
Yes, ma'am.
John Mattison.
Yes.
Annie Esther Garcia. Yes. Stephanie Jang.
Yes.
Rebecca Lee.
Yes.
Kevin Lim.
Yes.
Thomas Matarazzo.
Yes.
Yoon Min.
Yes.
Timothy Yang.
Yes.
Thank you. So consent agenda passed again. Next item is the personnel. Dr. Matarazzo?
Yes, before you have 17 motions. I met with Dr. Cirillo and the committee today, and I move on these 17.
Who seconded? Okay.
Rebecca.
Any discussion? Anybody? Any board members? None? Okay, roll call please.
Jason Kim.
Yes, ma'am.
John Mattison.
Yes.
Annie Esther Garcia. Yes. Stephanie Jang.
Yes.
Rebecca Lee.
Yes.
Kevin Lim.
Yes?
Thomas Matarazzo.
Yes, but on number 9, I recuse myself on, right, on number 6. I
All right.
recuse on that.
Yoon Min.
Yes.
Timothy Yang.
Yes.
Thank you. So it passed as a consent agenda. Now, next item is curriculum.
There's no report at this time.
Thank you. Negotiations,
There's no report at this time.
okay?
For Dr. Cirillo?
Yeah.
Oh, should I just put it on the consent agenda right now?
Ma, you could do it in, new business actually.
Right, that's how you said it.
Okay, then policy.
Before you, there is one item that I'd like to move on consent agenda, it's an amendment to the HIB policy.
Anybody on second?
I second that.
Discussion? No? Okay, then roll call please.
Jason Kim.
Yes, ma'am.
John Mattison.
Yes.
Annie Esther Garcia.
Yes.
Stephanie Jang.
Yes.
Rebecca Lee.
Yes.
Kevin Lim.
Yes.
Thomas Matarazzo.
Yes.
Yun Min.
Yes.
Timothy Yang.
Yes.
Thank you. Next item, PTA, PTSA.
There is no report at this time.
Thank you. Next item, student activity and field trips.
I have one, I don't know if I wanna say a new resolution, but it's for the parents. We are going to have a Google form that's gonna be going around to ask, the parents to volunteer for lunchtime, so they could come in and help with the children and the teachers, but they must be fingerprinted. They have to sign the form and get printed and get all the clearance before they can start volunteering. And this will be for all three schools from 10:30 to 1:30 p.m. And I have another event that's happening.
Well, on that one, we also have to approve the names of the people
Yes,
before.
yes,
Okay.
right. They have to go through the background check and the fingerprinting and
But we
everything.
still have to approve.
Yes,
So you're saying is that we need more volunteers?
yes.
That's the focus. Okay.
For the lunchtime,
Lunchtime?
there's not many teachers that could be there to help with the children and, you know, keep an eye on them, especially with the COVID going on. So we thought it would be necessary for the parents to get involved.
Was that for all three schools?
Yes, all three schools.
10:30 is not, lunchtime, maybe is that the snack time?
No, there is 10:30 lunchtime.
Depending on the schedule in the school.
Depending on the grade and depending on the school. So it starts from 10:30 to 1:30.
Dr. Sorrell, do you know how we usually disseminate that request to,
Yeah, so technically, we can put an advertisement in any paper, we can, put it on our website, but we believe that in our community, there are many people that may be interested in volunteering. As long as they are properly vetted, we can create the Google form, we could share it in our community, via our students. We have email blasts that go out regularly. This has not been an issue in years past, but because we are trying to limit the number of students in and around the cafeteria, especially at the younger grades, and some of those classes are having lunch in the classrooms, contractually, we just wanna make sure we are, in adherence to teacher contracts and offering students, proper supervision at all times.
okay, thank you. Next item is on the closed session.
Jason, one second.
Oh,
There's
no,
another
one
event
more,
that's
sorry.
happening next Thursday at the county field. It's the high school, football team. They have a homecoming game, but it's also the 30th anniversary of the football championship from 1991. So it's a special day, so if you could have everyone come and cheer them on, that'll be great.
Thank you.
And their score is 3-3.
Record.
Record, I'm sorry.
That's it?
That's it. I'm done.
Thank you. Next, we have a closed session for the HIP reports. So, I'm sorry guys, but, it is closed session, so you have to wait for outside, but we will come back and we will announce it to you guys.